Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Commanding General, the Command Sergeant Major of the Fire Center of Excellence in Fort Sill, Brigadier General Patrick Costello, and Command Sergeant Major Neil Sartain, welcome to this afternoon's retirement ceremony. Today, we gather to recognize a special group of soldiers and 3 Department of the Army civilians for their commitment and sacrifice throughout their many distinguished years of service. At this time, we would like to extend a sincere welcome to our distinguished guests. Joining us this afternoon are Dr. Elvin Peterson, Deputy to the Commanding General, United States Army Fire Center of Excellence in Fort Sill, Chief Warrant Officer 5, Kenneth Preston, Command Chief Warrant Officer, United States Army Fire Center of Excellence in Fort Sill, the Honorable Stan Booker, Mayor, City of Lawton, and his wife, Mary Ann. Brigadier General Glenn Hankey, Commandant, United States Army Air Defense Artillery School, and Deputy Commanding General, the Fire Center of Excellence in Fort Sill. Command Sergeant Major Giancarlo Macri, Command Sergeant Major, United States Army Air Defense Artillery School. Councilwoman Shireen L. Williams, City of Lawton, Ward 7. Colonel Jason Morgan, Chief of Staff, United States Army Fire Center of Excellence in Fort Sill, and our frontier friend, Janie Billingsley. For the sequence of events, please refer to your program. At this time, we'd like to recognize our former military or civilian retirees who may be attending today's ceremony. We ask that all retirees in attendance, and don't be shy, if they could, please stand to be recognized. Thank you for your service. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation presented by Chaplain Patterson and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem.
Will you pray with me? God, we come together to honor these courageous retirees who have served our nation with unwavering dedication. We thank you for their sacrifices and the strength of their families whose love and support sustain them through every challenge. As they enter this new chapter, bless them and their families with peace, joy, and purpose. Guide their paths, surround them with your love, and let their legacy inspire us all. We are grateful for their service and their families' steadfast support to them. It's in your holy name that we pray. Amen.
Please be seated. Participating in today's ceremony are the installation color guard as provided by the 434 Field Artillery Brigade. The color sergeant is Drill Sergeant Randy Post. Our guest speaker for today's ceremony received his commission in 2001 as a Field Artillery Officer. He has served with distinction at all levels of leadership throughout his Army career. He currently serves as a commander of the 75th Field Artillery Brigade. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Colonel Paul Lashley.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, families, and most importantly, our honored retirees. Today we gather to pay tribute to extraordinary men and women who dedicated their lives to serving the United States Army. Retirement from the Army is not just the close of a career.
It is a culmination of years filled with courage, sacrifice, and unwavering devotion to our great nation. Each of you made a commitment to defend this country against all enemies, to put service above self, and to be part of something greater than any one individual. And you kept that promise year after year. The Army is built on values: loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. Those aren't simply ideals printed on a poster or etched onto manuals. They are principles you live by in the most trying of times. They guided you through long deployments far from home, through missions where outcomes were uncertain, and through moments where personal sacrifice was the cost of service. You showed our nation that true strength is quiet, humble, and rooted in a deep sense of responsibility. But service to the Army was never about just one individual. It was about the bonds you formed with your fellow soldiers and employees, the camaraderie forged under pressure, the trust built in the face of adversity, and the friendships that would last a lifetime. No one understands that better than those who served alongside you. And no one supported you more than your families who carried their own share of the burden. To the spouses, children, and loved ones sitting here today, your sacrifices made this devotion possible. You too served this country in countless unseen ways. To our retirees, through your time in uniform and your professional attire has come to an end, your service story continues. You leave behind legacies in the soldiers and employees you mentored, in the missions you completed, and the example you set with every decision grounded in honor and duty. The Army has changed lives beyond the battlefield, and each of you has been a part of that story. As you begin this new chapter, your retirement does not diminish the role you play in the life of this nation. You will always be leaders, role models, and protectors of the values that keep America strong. The title Army Retiree is not just a reflection of what you once did. It is a lasting symbol of who you are and what you will always represent. Carry it proudly. On behalf of a grateful country, we thank you for the years you gave, for the sacrifices you made, and for the legacy that you leave behind. May your future be filled with the peace you so richly deserve, the joy of family and friends, and the pride of knowing that you have already lived lives of purpose, courage, and impact. God bless you, your families, and the United States of America.
Today, we are privileged to recognize our retirees for their loyal and faithful service. Colonel Lashley will present each retiree with their End of Service Award and a case flag provided by the Fort Sill Retiree Council or a coveted Fires Afghan in honor of their service. Additionally, each retiree will receive a retirement certificate certifying that each retiree has served faithfully and honorably, a certificate of appreciation from the President of the United States, and the Commanding General's coin for excellence. Each retiree's spouse will be presented a single flower or fires mug, along with their certificate signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army in honor of their faithful, unselfish, and devoted service. Finally, Command Sergeant Major Pruitt will present the retirees' children with the Military Brat Certificate, thanking them for their continued support, which reflects their bravery, resilience, adaptability, and teamwork, creating the acronym BRAT and making them all true Army brats. Our first honored retiree is Lieutenant Colonel Jeremy Tillman, accompanied by his wife Cassandra and his children Emma, Lily, and Ann. Lieutenant Colonel Tillman came into federal service in May of 2005 and recently served with the 3rd Battalion, 13th Field Artillery Regiment. He is proud of his family and the soldiers he has served. Following his retirement, he plans to strengthen his Christian faith, his family, and the people of Wichita, Kansas. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Lieutenant Colonel Tillman for exceptional meritorious service of over 20 years, culminating as a Senior Field Artillery Integration Officer. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the Fire Center of Excellence, and the United States Army. Signed, Patrick M. Costello, Brigadier General, United States Army, Commander. Mrs. Tillman is receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Lieutenant Colonel Tillman's children are being presented with the Army Brat Certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Lieutenant Colonel retired Jeremy Tillman and family. And we got Mr. Stan Booker to give a plaque to Colonel Tillman.
Right. Okay, I hope you all can hear me because I don't have a mic and I don't have a real good sergeant major voice here. But I'll tell you what, Colonel Tillman, on behalf of the community of Washington, we wanted to recognize you not only for your service to our country, for your leadership, and for your engagement with law enforcement. Let me read this. Lieutenant Colonel Jeremy Tillman, family, birthday, 13th that David said, service to our country, leadership, community engagement, rising to the highest level of some government. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Let's do that family portrait one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Lieutenant Colonel retired Jeremy Tillman and family. Our next honorary retiree is Command Sergeant Major Christopher Blevins, accompanied by his wife Melissa and his children Christopher Jr., Mason, and Braden. Command Sergeant Major Blevins came into federal service in June of 2002 and recently served as the G357 Operations Sergeant Major for the Fire Center of Excellence. He is proud of being able to train, lead, and mentor the future of tomorrow's Army. Following his retirement, he plans to hunt, fish, and spend time with family. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Command Sergeant Major Blevins for exceptional meritorious service of over 23 years, culminating as a G357 Operations Sergeant Major. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the Fire Center of Excellence, and the United States Army. Signed, Patrick M. Costello, Brigadier General, United States Army Commanding. Mrs. Blevins is receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Command Sergeant Major Blevins' children are being presented with the Army Brat Certificate. There you go, close there. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Command Sergeant Major retired Christopher Blevins and family. Our next honored retiree is Chief Warrant Officer 4, Jared Frank. Chief Warrant Officer 4, Frank, came to federal service in September of 1998 and recently served with the Directorate of Training and Doctrine. He is proud of the relationships developed and his personal growth. Following his retirement, he plans to initially relax, then become an entrepreneur. The Legion of Merit is awarded to Chief Warrant Officer 4 Frank for exceptional meritorious service of over 27 years, culminating as a long-range precision fires leader and planner course developer. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the Fire Center of Excellence, and the United States Army. Signed, Winston P. Brooks, Major General, United States Army, Commanding. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Chief Warrant Officer 4 retired Jared Frank and family. Our next honored retiree is Mrs. Amaryllis Diaz Rosario de Santiago, accompanied by her husband Francisco and their daughter Mia. Mrs. Diaz Rosario de Santiago came into federal service in January of 1997 and recently served with the 2-5 Field Artillery Battalion, 212th Field Artillery Brigade. She is proud of living her purpose in this world and making every moment she served matter. Following her retirement, she plans to spend time with her spouse in Hawaii as he prepares for retirement. The Meritorious Civilian Service Medal is awarded to Mrs. Diaz Rosario de Santiago for exceptional meritorious service of over 28 years, culminating as a financial management analyst for G8. Her exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon her, the Fire Center of Excellence, in the United States Army. Signed, Winston P. Brooks, Major General, United States Army, Commanding. Mr. Santiago is receiving a fire's mug as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Mrs. Santiago's daughter is being presented with her Army Brat certificate. Always take commands from the father. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mrs. Amaryllis Diaz Rosario de Santiago, retired. In there for that family photo, there you go. Just remember, there's always two photos. Our next honor retiree is Mrs. Loretta Holman, accompanied by her husband Curtis and her children Braden and Zachary. Mrs. Holman came into federal service in September of 2002 and recently served with the Military Personnel Division, Separations Branch. She is proud of being part of the best G8 team and working with so many great teams across Fort Sill, knowing she helps soldiers that have served and sacrificed and makes her feel proud. Following her retirement, she plans to serve the Lord and community, take care of herself and family, and continue serving local scouts, gardening, and traveling. The Meritorious Civilian Service Medal is awarded to Mrs. Holman for exceptional meritorious service of over 23 years, culminating as a financial management analyst for G8. Her exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon her, the Fire Center of Excellence, the United States Army. Signed, Winston P. Brooks, Major General, United States Army, Commanding. Mr. Holman is receiving a fire's mug as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Mrs. Holman's children are being presented with their Army Brat certificate. Family photo. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mrs. Loretta Holman, retired in family. Our next honor retiree is Mr. Darrell Stewart, accompanied by his wife Virginia and his children Darren and Rain. Mr. Stewart came into federal service in May of 2004 and recently served with the Military Personnel Division Office. He is proud of retiring from the military and federal government. Following his retirement, he plans to spend more time with family and travel. The Civilian Service Commendation Medal is awarded to Mr. Stewart for outstanding service of over 21 years, culminating as a supervisor for the Student Transition Section. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the Fort Sill military community, and the United States Army. Signed, Derek Garber, Colonel, Field Artillery, Commanding. Mrs. Stewart is receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Mr. Stewart's children are being presented with the Army Brat Certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Darrell Stewart, retired, and family. Our next honorary retired is Master Sergeant Isaac Valadez, accompanied by his wife Becky and his children Nathaniel and Valerie. Mr. Sergeant Valadez came to the Federal Service in July of 1997 and recently served with the 31st Air Defense Artillery Brigade. He is proud of the amount of time he put in the military. Following his retirement, he plans to travel. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Master Sergeant Valadez came for exceptional meritorious service of over 28 years, culminating as a Signal Corps non-commissioned officer. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the 32nd Army Air and Missile Defense Command, and the United States Army. Signed, Richard A. Harrison, Major General, United States Army Commanding. Mrs. Valadez is receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Master Sergeant Valadez's children are being presented with the Army Brat Certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Master Sergeant Retired Isaac Valadez and his family. Our next honor retiree is Sergeant First Class Oscar Brewer III. Sergeant First Class Brewer came into military service in September of 2002 and recently served with the 95th Adjutant General Battalion. He is proud of serving honorably and reaching all of his goals. Following his retirement, he plans to pursue his doctoral studies and work in his field of choice, enjoy hobbies and recreation. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Sergeant First Class Brewer for exceptional meritorious service of over 26 years, culminating as a Senior Human Resources Sergeant. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the Fire Center of Excellence, and the United States Army. Signed, Winston P. Brooks, Major General, United States Army, Commanding. Yeah, we'll get back to First Sergeant Long. He was on a different side of the paper. Sorry about that, First Sergeant. We'll get back to you right after this one. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Sergeant First Class Retired Oscar Brewer III. All right, our next honor retired is First Sergeant Christopher Long, accompanied by his wife Valerie and his children Kaylin and Nolan. First Sergeant Long came into military service in June of 1992 and recently served with the 1st of 78th Field Artillery Battalion. Give us a moment here. Document detectives were stuck over here, so we skipped over one. My bad there, SGS. All right, here we go. First Sergeant Long came into military service in June of 1992 and recently served with the 1st and 78th Field Artillery Battalion. He is proud that he created real change and influence far beyond the chain of command. Following his retirement, he plans to be a full-time father to his sons and devoted husband. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to First Sergeant Long for exceptional meritorious service of over 23 years. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the Fire Center of Excellence, the United States Army. Signed, Winston P. Brooks, Major General, United States Army Commanding. Mrs. Long is receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. First Sergeant Long's children are being presented with the Army Brat Certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you First Sergeant Retired Christopher Long and family. Our next honor retiree is Sergeant First Class Mulray Frisbee, accompanied by his wife Victoria. Sergeant First Class Frisbee came into military service in October of 2005 and recently served with the 220th Field Artillery. He is proud of leading and training soldiers. Following his retirement, he plans to relax and spend more time with family. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Sergeant First Class Frisbee for exceptional meritorious service of over 20 years, culminating as the Battalion Liaison Non-Commissioned Officer. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, 3rd Armored Corps, and the United States Army. Signed, Joffrey R. Van Epps, Brigadier General, United States Army, Deputy Commanding General. Mrs. Frisbee is receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Sergeant First Class Retired Mulray Frisbee and family. Our next honored retiree is Sergeant First Class Sean Holmgren, accompanied by his wife Jennifer, his children Cora and Kate. Sergeant First Class Holmgren came into military service in July of 1999 and recently served with the Fire Support Test Director. He is proud of the birth of his children. Following his retirement, he plans to live life to the fullest. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Sergeant First Class Holmgren for exceptional meritorious service of over 20 years, culminating as an Operations Non-Commissioned Officer. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the United States Army Operational Test Command, and the United States Army. Signed, Shannon Michael Lucas, Brigadier General, United States Army Commanding. Mrs. Holmgren is receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Sergeant First Class Holmgren's children are being presented with the Army Brat Certificate. All right, we might want to layer this picture. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Sergeant First Class Retired Sean Holmgren and family. Our next honor retiree is Sergeant First Class Alan Carnes III, accompanied by his wife Brittany and his son Colton. Sergeant First Class Carnes came into military service in October of 2005 and recently served with the 40th MP Detachment. He is proud of his family and the impact he left on soldiers. Following his retirement, he plans to serve the Fort Sill community in some capacity. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Sergeant First Class Carnes for exceptional meritorious service of over 20 years, culminating as a detective supervisor. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the Fire Center of Excellence, the United States Army. Signed, Patrick M. Costello, Brigadier General, United States Army, Commanding. Mrs. Carnes is receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Sergeant First Class Carnes' son is being presented with his Army Brat certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Sergeant First Class Retired Alan Carnes III and family. Our next honor retiree is Sergeant First Class Jonathan Reyes, accompanied by his wife Anna and his children Kaven, Atua, and Janahi. Sergeant First Class Reyes came into military service in September of 2001 and recently served with Delta Battery, 1st of 78th Field Artillery. He is proud of his family and the years he served in the military. Following his retirement, he plans to spend time with family and finish up with schools. A Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Sergeant First Class Reyes for exceptional meritorious service of over 20 years, culminating as a senior instructor. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the Fire Center of Excellence, and the United States Army. Signed, Patrick M. Costello, Brigadier General, United States Army, Commanding. Mrs. Reyes is receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Sergeant First Class Reyes' children are being presented with their Army Brat certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Sergeant First Class Retired Jonathan Reyes and his family. Our next honor retiree is Staff Sergeant Ryan Smith, accompanied by his wife Jody and his children Ella and Nicholas. Staff Sergeant Smith came into military service in February of 2004 and recently served with the 434 Field Artillery Brigade. He is proud of leading soldiers in combat and bringing them all home, and proud of his wife of having the hardest job as a military spouse. Following his retirement, he plans to be a bladesmith and make knives. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Staff Sergeant Smith for exceptional meritorious service of over 21 years, culminating as an instructor. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the Fire Center of Excellence, the United States Army. Signed, Patrick M. Costello, Brigadier General, United States Army, Commanding. Mrs. Smith is receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Staff Sergeant Smith's children are being presented with their Army Brat certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Staff Sergeant Retired Ryan Smith and his family. Our last honored retiree is Staff Sergeant Micah Turner, accompanied by his wife Melissa and his children Vivian and John. and recently served with the 434 Field Artillery Brigade. He is proud of having the opportunity to serve. Following his retirement, he plans to stay in the Lawton area. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Staff Sergeant Turner for exceptional meritorious service of over 20 years, culminating as an instructor. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the Fire Center of Excellence of the United States Army. Signed, Patrick M. Costello, Brigadier General, United States Army, Commanding. Mrs. Turner is receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Staff Sergeant Turner's children are being presented with their Army Brat Certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Staff Sergeant Retired Micah Turner and family. Could I kindly ask that each retiree please stand and face the audience? Don't be shy. You are now one of us. Please join me in a round of applause in honor of today's retiree. Let's hear it for him. Please be seated. Hell yeah. Distinguished retirees, we are grateful for your service and contributions to the United States Army. You will be missed, but rest assured, there are other Americans who will stand up and meet the challenges of tomorrow. Honored retirees, your replacements have arrived. These soldiers are currently in Week 5 of basic combat training. Like each of you did many years ago, these soldiers have sworn to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and have chosen to live by the Soldier's Creed.
The Soldier's Creed!
Please rise as we honor today's retirees and remain standing for the playing of the Army song and the retiring of the colors.
Wish they would.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please take a moment to thank today's honored retirees and their families for their loyal and faithful service. Fire strong, soldier for life, instantly defense, and BLU